Welcome to Objective 1.3, Change Management. Every change, firewall rule, patch, onboarding, offboarding, decommissioning, is a security event. CompTIA tests you on the process, the business impact, technical implications, and documentation. This objective is process-heavy and often skipped, but it's a guaranteed 2 to 3 questions. We go deep with multiple slides per subtopic to hit at least 30 minutes with exam tricks and memory hooks. By the end of this deep dive, you will explain why change management matters for security, list the 7-step change process in order, identify stakeholders and ownership, perform impact analysis, define CAB approval, explain testing and backout plan, describe maintenance windows, and explain technical implications like allow lists, deny lists, downtime, service restart, legacy dependencies. You will also spot exam traps between backout plan and impact analysis and no documentation requirements. What is change management? It's a structured, repeatable process to request, evaluate, approve, test, implement, and document any change to IT systems, servers, network, applications, policies, user accounts. Why does CompTIA care about security impact? Because 80% of outages and breaches come from poorly managed changes. Someone patched firewall at 2 p.m. without telling anyone. Opened port, attacker entered. Or offboarded employee, but account stayed active for 3 months. Ex-employee accessed data. Change management ensures every change is authorized, tested, documented, reversible, and communicated. Security is part of it, not afterthought. Why does security care? Because business processes trigger changes. Onboarding. New hire joins, need to provision accounts with least privilege. Background check done per operational controls. If onboarding process has no checklist, new hire gets excessive permissions. Privilege creep. Offboarding. Employee leaves, voluntarily or terminated, must immediately disable accounts, revoke badges, collect laptop, remove from groups, forward email. If not done, former insider threat can access. Decommissioning. Old server retired. Must sanitize data per media disposal. Remove firewall rules, revoke certificates. If not, attacker finds forgotten server with old vulnerability. Moving or relocating. Data center move. Downtime, dependencies, backup. Documentation. Standard operating procedures ensure consistency. Memory hook. OOD. Onboarding, offboarding, decommissioning. All need security checklist. The 7-step process you must memorize in order. Exam loves ordering. 1. Change request with owner and stakeholders identified. 2. Impact analysis. What will this change affect? Security, downtime, cost, performance, dependencies. 3. Approval. Change Advisory Board, CAB, reviews impact analysis, approves or denies. 4. Testing. Test in sandbox, lab, staging, before production. Document test results. 5. Backout plan. How to roll back if change fails. Recovery steps. 6. Implement in maintenance window. Schedule low impact time. Communicate to users. 7. Document and version control. Update diagrams, configs, SOPs, version numbers. Memory hook. RIATBMD. Request, impact, approval, test, backout, maintenance, document. I ate the Big Mac daily. Step 1. Request. Someone wants change. Need to open firewall port for new app. They submit change request form. What change is needed? Why? Who is owner responsible? Who are stakeholders? IT security must review security impact. Business owner must confirm business need. End users must know about downtime. Vendor may be involved. Owner is accountable if change fails. Without owner, no one responsible. Stakeholders ensure all impacts considered. Example, firewall change owner is network architect. Stakeholders are security architect, app owner, SOC. Exam may ask, who approves? Not owner. CAB approves. Owner proposes. Step 2. Impact analysis. Critical for security. You must analyze. Security impact? Does this firewall rule allow internet to reach database? Does patch introduce new vulnerability? Does decommissioning leave data exposed? Downtime impact? Will service restart cause email down for 10 minutes? Performance impact? New IDS rule slows network? Cost? License? Man-hours? Dependencies? This server is dependency for payroll app. Changing it breaks payroll. Compliance impact? Does change violate PCI DSS? Business impact analysis, BIA terms applied here. RTO, RPO. You document all in impact analysis report. If impact high, CAB may deny or require more testing. No impact analysis equals risky change. Memory hook. Impact equals SDDCP. Security, downtime, dependencies, cost, performance. Step 3. Approval. CAB, Change Advisory Board, group of stakeholders, IT manager, security manager, business rep, network admin, reviews change request and impact analysis, and decides approved, denied, deferred for more info. For normal changes, weekly CAB meeting. For emergency changes, active breach needs immediate firewall block, emergency CAB, ECAB, smaller group, faster approval. Can approve via email or phone, documents after. Approval must be documented, not verbal. Without approval, change is unauthorized, security violation. Exam trap. Who approves? CAB. Not owner, not requester. Owner proposes, CAB disposes. Step 4. Testing. Never test in production. Test in sandbox, isolated lab that mirrors production, or staging environment, pre-prod, that is copy of production. Test results must be documented. Did firewall rule allow intended traffic and block unintended? Did patch break app? Did rollback work in lab? If test fails, return to requester to fix, re-impact analysis. Testing reduces risk of outage and security breach. Example, new IPS signature tested in staging catches false positive that would have blocked CEO email. Test prevents business impact. Exam, where should changes be tested? Sandboxed or staging, not production. Documentation of test results is required before implementation. Step 5. Backout plan. How to undo if change fails or causes outage or security incident. Must be documented before implementation. Include steps to roll back to previous version, previous config, restore from backup. Time limit. If not fixed in 30 minutes, roll back. Who executes backout? When to trigger? Example, firewall change backout. Delete new rule, restore previous rule set from backup config, verify connectivity. Without backout plan, failed change leaves system down for hours. Exam trap. Backout plan versus impact analysis. Impact analysis asks what could happen. Backout plan asks how to undo if it happens. Impact equals prediction. Backout equals recovery. Memory hook. Backout equals back out. Plan to go back out if stuck. Step 6. Implement in maintenance window. Maintenance window is agreed low impact period, Sunday 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. when users not working, to minimize business impact of downtime. Must communicate to all stakeholders before. Email, ticket, banner. System will be down for patching. Implement change per SOP. Monitor during and after for issues. Have owner and backout team on standby. If change beyond window, rollback. Emergency change may not have window, but still communicate as soon as possible. Exam. When to implement? Maintenance window, not during business hours. Step 7. Documentation. Often skipped, but exam tests heavily. Document what was changed, why, business justification, who owner and who approved, when implemented, test results, was backout needed, lessons learned. Version control. Config files versioned, v1.0 to v1.1, so you can diff and roll back. Example, firewall config v5 before change, v6 after. Documented diff, allow port 443 from app subnet. CMDB, configuration management database, tracks all assets and versions, updated after change. SOPs, standard operating procedures, updated if process changed. New firewall rule SOP now includes app subnet. Diagrams, network diagram updated. Without documentation, next admin doesn't know what changed. Security risk. Memory hook. Document equals what, why, who, when, plus version. Technical implications of change. What could break security? Allow list, whitelist, explicitly allows only approved items. For example, allow list for firewall only permits port 443 from specific IP. All else denied. More secure, but new app may not work if not on allow list. Need to update allow list as part of change. Deny list, blacklist, explicitly blocks bad items. Deny list blocks known malicious IPs, all else allowed. Less secure, but more compatible. Change that adds IP to deny list could block legitimate business if IP is actually CDN. When change involves allow or deny lists, review for security versus availability trade-off. Exam. Allow list is whitelist, more restrictive, more secure. Deny list is blacklist, less restrictive. More technical implications. Restricted activities. During change, some user activities may be restricted. No new account creation while database migration. Downtime. Service may be down. Email down 10 minutes. Must be in maintenance window and communicated. Service restart. After firewall change, need to restart firewall service. Risk service fails to start. Need backout. Application restart. Patch requires restart of app. Users disconnected. OS restart. Kernel patch requires reboot. Longer downtime. Rolling restart. For cluster, restart one node at a time to avoid total downtime. Better for availability. Exam. Expect question. Change requires service restart. What should be considered? Downtime impact. Legacy applications. Old apps. Maybe Windows 2008. Vendor no longer supports, cannot be patched, fragile. Any change like firewall rule or OS patch may break legacy app. Need extra testing and backout plan. maybe compensating controls, as you learned in 1.1. Dependencies, many to many. Payroll app depends on database, database depends on storage, storage depends on network. Change network may break payroll even though you didn't directly change payroll. Need dependency mapping via CMDB. Before change, ask, what depends on this system? What does this system depend on? Third-party dependencies, cloud provider, vendor API. Change may break integration. Exam trick. Change to system that legacy app depends on, high risk. Need more testing and stakeholder approval. Memory hook. Legacy equals fragile, dependencies equals domino effect. Documentation deep dive. Version control. Tracks changes to configs, code, documents, Git-like. v1.0 initial, v1.1 after change. You can compare diff. Roll back to v1.0 if needed. Audit who changed what, when. Without version control, you cannot roll back reliably. CMDB, Configuration Management Database. Central repository of all assets, versions, dependencies, owners. After change, CMDB updated. Server X, now version 2.1, owner Y, depends on Z. SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures. Step-by-step instructions for routine tasks. After change, SOPs may need update. New backup procedure after storage upgrade. Diagrams. Network, data flow diagrams updated. Documentation ensures repeatability and auditability. Types of changes. Standard change. Pre-approved, low risk, routine, no cab needed each time. Resetting password, adding user to group following SOP. Still documented, but fast. Normal change. Requires full 7-step process and cab approval. New firewall rule, server migration. Emergency change. Urgent. Must be done now to fix breach or outage. Attacker exploiting RDP. Need to block IP immediately. Emergency cab. ECAB. Approves quickly. Verbal then documented after. Still need backout plan and impact analysis, but done quickly. Testing may be limited. Still must document after. Exam may ask, which change type for critical security patch that must be deployed now? Emergency. Which for adding printer? Standard. Master flowchart. Screenshot this. You must memorize order. Start. Change request submitted with owner, stakeholders. Impact analysis. Security, downtime, dependencies, cost. Cab approval. Approved? If denied, end or revise. If approved, testing in sandbox or staging with documented results. Test passed? If failed, back to requester and re-impact. If passed, backout plan documented. Schedule maintenance window and communicate. Implement change, monitor. Success? If fails, execute backout plan, rollback, document. If success, documentation, version control, CMDB, SOPs, diagrams, lessons learned. End. This flow is critical. Exam asks, what step after impact analysis? Approval. What before implementation? Backout plan and maintenance window. Exam traps. Trap 1. Impact analysis versus backout plan. Impact asks what could happen. Backout asks how to undo. Question. What document describes how to return to previous state if change fails? That's backout plan, not impact analysis. Trap 2. Where should change be tested? Answer. Sandbox or staging, not production. Testing in production is never correct. Trap 3. Who approves change? CAB, not owner, not requester, not help desk. Owner proposes, CAB disposes. Trap 4. Change implemented but not documented. Risk. Next admin unaware. Cannot troubleshoot. Audit fails. Rollback impossible. No documentation equals security risk. Memory hook. No doc equals no rollback. Real scenario. New web app needs to talk to database on port 443. Request, open firewall port 443 from app subnet 10.1.1.0/24 to DB 10.2.2.5. Owner, network architect. Stakeholders, security architect, app owner, DB admin, SOC. Impact analysis. Security. Does rule allow internet? No, only app subnet. Low risk. Downtime? Requires firewall service restart. 2 minutes. Dependencies? DB depends on firewall. App depends on DB. Testing? Implement rule in staging firewall. Test app can connect. Test other subnets cannot. Document results. Backout plan? Delete new rule. Restore config version 4. Verify connectivity back to pre-change. Approval? CAB approves. Maintenance window? Sunday 2 a.m. Email users. Implementation? Add rule. Restart service. Monitor logs. Verify. Documentation, update firewall config version 5, update network diagram, update SOP, CMDB, close ticket. Without this, rule might allow 0.0.0.0/0 to DB, breach. Scenario 2. Employee terminated. Offboarding, high insider risk if delayed. Business process, HR notifies IT. Change request, offboard John. Owner, HR, stakeholders, IT, security, facilities. Impact analysis, security accounts, still active, could be used for revenge, data theft. Downtime, none. Dependencies, John owns some scripts, transfer ownership. Approval, manager approval, not necessarily CAB for user account, but still approval. Testing. Verify account disabled, badge fails, email forwarded. Backout plan. If offboarding was mistake, how to re-enable. Maintenance window. Immediate, not waiting. Implementation. Disable AD, revoke badge, collect laptop, remove from groups, white mobile, remove VPN cert, update asset inventory. Documentation. Update AD, asset DB, checklist signed. No documentation. Orphaned account remains active, credential harvesting risk, former employee credentials could be used. Scenario 3. Legacy payroll app on Windows 2008 cannot be patched easily, but critical vulnerability must be patched. Request patch. Legacy server owner, sysadmin, stakeholders, security, payroll, business owner, app vendor. Impact analysis. High risk, legacy app may break. Dependency, payroll depends on it. Downtime, 1 hour. Security impact. If not patched, attacker could exploit. Approval. CAB must consider risk of patch versus risk of not patching. Security versus availability trade-off. Testing. Extensive testing in isolated lab that clones legacy system. Test payroll processing, test backout. Backout plan. Snapshot before patch, backup DB, restore snapshot if fails within 30 minutes. Maintenance window. Extended window Saturday night with payroll notified. Implementation. Snapshot, patch, restart, verify payroll runs, monitor. Documentation. Version control, server now patched, version CMDB updated, SOP updated, lessons learned, legacy needs migration plan. Memory hooks to memorize order and checks. Process order, RIATBMD, equals request, impact, approval, test, backout, maintenance, document story. R, I ate the Big Mac daily. You request burger, analyze impact on diet, get approval from doctor, test, taste plan to spit out if bad, back out, eat during dinner window, document calories. Impact analysis checklist, SDDCP, equals security, downtime, dependencies, cost, performance. S, doctors do costly procedures. Security, downtime, dependencies, cost, performance. Business processes that trigger changes. OOD equals onboarding, offboarding, decommissioning. Emergency change. ECAB equals emergency cab, small and fast. Standard change. Pre-approved. No cab each time. Quick quiz. Question 1. What document describes how to undo change if fails? Answer: backout plan, not impact analysis. Question 2. Where should change be tested? Answer: sandbox, staging, not production. Question 3. Who approves normal change? Answer: CAP, not owner. Question 4. Change implemented without documentation. Risk? Answer: no rollback, next admin unaware, audit fail. Question 5. Offboarded employee account still active after 3 months. Risk? Answer: insider threat, credential harvesting, privilege escalation. Score 4 out of 5. Ready for 1.3. Cheat sheet screenshot. 7 steps. Request owner plus stakeholders, impact, security, downtime, dependencies, cost, performance, approval, CAB, ECAB. Test sandbox, staging, documented. Backout, rollback, maintenance window. Communicate, document version control, CMDB, SOP, diagrams. Technical implications. Allow deny lists, restricted activities, downtime, restarts, legacy fragility, dependencies, domino effect. Documentation. Version control, CMDB, SOPs. Types. Standard, pre-approved, low risk. Normal, CAB. Emergency, ECAB, urgent. Business processes. Onboarding, offboarding, decommissioning. Need checklists. That's objective 1.3, change management. Why every change is a security event. 7-step process, technical implications, documentation, business processes, emergency versus standard. Keep flowchart handy, used in every domain. Next, 1.4, cryptographic solutions. PKI, encryption, hashing, digital signatures, blockchain. Heavy on exam. Bonus change management versus incident response. Both have similar steps, but different triggers. Change management is planned, proactive. You plan to change firewall rule. Incident response is reactive, unplanned. Attacker breached, you must contain. Both need impact analysis. IR impact is scope of breach. Both need approval. IR approval from incident commander. Both need testing. IR testing is not testing in lab, but testing containment. Both need backout, containment. Both need maintenance window. IR is emergency window. Both need documentation and lessons learned. Exam may confuse. Change management is for planned changes. Incident response for security incidents. Memory hook. Change equals planned, incident equals unplanned breach. Bonus PBQ practice. Order the steps. Jumbled. Documentation, approval, impact analysis, testing, request, maintenance window, backout plan. Correct order, request, impact analysis, approval, testing, backout plan, maintenance window, documentation. Remember RIA 8BMD. Drag and drop in exam. Another PBQ. Match technical implication to scenario. Allow list versus deny list. Downtime, legacy dependencies. Practice ordering daily. I ate the Big Mac daily. Request, impact, approval, test, backout, maintenance, document. Bonus case study. Failed change without process. Admin at 2 p.m. decides to patch firewall to block YouTube. No request, no impact analysis, no CAB, no test and staging, no backout plan, no maintenance window, no communication, implements in production. Patch has bug. Firewall service fails to start. All internet down. CEO cannot access email. Outage 4 hours. No documentation, so next shift doesn't know what changed. Takes hours to roll back manually. Audit fails, business loses money. If change management followed, request with owner, impact analysis would have caught CEO email dependency, CAB would have scheduled Sunday 2 a.m. window, testing and staging would have found bug, backout plan would have restored in 5 minutes. Documentation would have helped. Story shows why change management is security control, managerial and operational, and preventive. Bonus automation. Modern change management uses automation to reduce human error and improve security. Infrastructure as code, IAC. Firewall rules defined in code, version controlled in Git, peer-reviewed, tested automatically in lab via CI/CD pipeline, approved via ServiceNow, deployed via Ansible, rollback via Git revert, automated backout. Benefits. Consistency, audit trail, less human error, faster. Ties to domain 4.7, automation and orchestration. Example, new firewall rule change request via ticket. Automated script checks impact analysis. Does rule allow 0.0.0.0/0 to DB? If yes, auto deny and alert security. If passes, send to CAB via automated email after approval, auto deploy in maintenance window, and auto document in CMDB. Automation is technical and managerial control that enforces change management process.